was the Little Feet, and that was through Regional Elementary. So some of the students there participated in the Little Feet, and basically it was just a fun like little field day for them basically. And so they played like soccer, they had a balance team, they had like jousting, and I just helped set up and kind of help them run it, kind of just like a volunteer basically. And also with the Special Olympics program, I participated in the Special Olympics basketball tournament here at AWilkens High School. And so basically what I did was just help them run the different like drills for the Special Olympics players, and then also I had score and time during the different games. And it's just a really fun experience to get to see those kids just have fun and just like have a good time and just like get to be like normal kids, like be like everyone else. And it was just like a really great experience. Another thing we did every other Wednesday or Thursday towards the end of the school year was Champions Together practice, and that's here at the high school as well. And Miss Henberger, one of the PE coaches, coaches that. And so what it is take some students from the adventure games class in the morning and the special education kids, and every other Thursday or Wednesday they get together and they run the track, they do the long jump, they do the shot put, and just have fun and just hang out together. And it's just a really good experience for everyone to just hang out and relax, kind of. Just gives the special education students and the regular class students just fun time to interact on a even level and just like a nice time to just hang out. We also did a lot of like different workshops for teachers and just planning. Honestly, these were more of a like, I want to say boring experience for me. They weren't as much fun as like the student, but it was really interesting to see all the different like planning and all the hard work that goes into just like every day here at the high school. For my community service, I did Women to Women, and that is at Randolph Elementary School here in Goochland. And so what this is every other Thursday they meet, and it's a group of volunteers. So there's me, and then there's a lot of like parent volunteers and some teachers as well. And we each have a mentoree, and they're anywhere from kindergarten to fifth grade at Randolph. And we just meet for 30 minutes and talk about like life really. There will be a topic on the board every week, and sometimes we listen to the topic and talk about it, and sometimes it's been a long week or we haven't seen each other in a while. We'll just talk about like life, and it just like really made me appreciate like elementary school kids a lot more. I don't know, and it just gave me a greater appreciation of them and what they go through, because we as high school students take a lot of like what we did in elementary school for granted sometimes, I think. And like from their perspective, it's just as hard as high school, and it just like made me understand it a lot better. And I got really close with my mentoree, Jocelyn. She was actually in my mom's fifth grade class, and we just got really close, and I found out so much about her and how awesome she was, and just like gave me a connection that I probably wouldn't have had without that opportunity. And we just play games towards the end usually when this is like a day that we kind of didn't have too much to talk about. So we just played like Connect Four, and it's just a really fun time for them to not think about school too much, not just to relax and talk about whatever they want. For my legacy, Mrs. Ambrose, the guidance counselor at Randolph, is helping me create a video project with Women to Women. So what I plan to do is create a video of some of the girls telling me about what they loved about Women to Women, why they would recommend it to other future students, and just like overall experience. And I hope to show that to future girls at Randolph, to encourage them to participate in it, because it just gives them that extra time to not think so much about school and just have that time to really just relax and enjoy the experience, and just make them want to go to school a little bit more so they can look forward to that. So in the future, I'll be attending Virginia Tech for business, and I don't know exactly what with business yet. I'm majoring in business and then minoring in real estate. And if I had to give any advice to future students, is don't procrastinate, especially with the minor things, because you may think that they don't matter as much and that you can get the stuff right you're gonna regret it. And I definitely just stay on top of everything, even if you don't, if you think you have enough time, you don't, so do it. And also, even with your hours, I would try to get them done as soon as you can, because trying to crunch them all in while trying to create your presentation into your research paper is just a lot of stress and work, and you definitely don't want to have to deal with that.
Alec, first of all, I think your introduction, your own experience with anxiety is pretty amazing. Kind of way to start. We've seen a lot more students in the last few years. I know in Blueberry, we've seen a lot more students who are diagnosed with anxiety. And so I was wondering if in your research you found anything that indicates that anxiety itself is becoming more prevalent, or are we getting better at identifying it? Are there factors about just the way the school and society is going now that kind of cause more anxiety?
I think that there definitely are more resources coming about just through school in general, but I also think that it's just in general parents are getting better at it, and they see the different signs, and there's more knowledge in general. I didn't come a lot across a lot in my research, but I know personally that I feel like now there's a lot more than there was when I was in elementary school, so I definitely see that there's a good trend going.
How were the girls identified through the woman-to-woman program?
I believe it was just like a volunteer kind of basis.